Hi there. Welcome back to Fluent English Learning. Let me ask you a question. Can you understand English, but when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank? You try to say something, but no words come out. You are not alone. This happens to many learners. They watch movies, listen to podcasts, and read English every day, but still can't speak well. Why does this happen? In this episode, I will give you 6 powerful tips to help you speak better and feel more confident. And don't worry, I will speak slowly and clearly. You can use this video for listening and shadowing. Listen carefully, repeat after me, and try to match my voice and rhythm. Let's begin together. Tip 1. Understanding is passive, speaking is active. Let me ask you something. Have you ever watched a movie and understood everything, but when someone asked you, what was it about, you couldn't answer? Why does that happen? You know the words. You know the story, but your mouth stays silent. Strange, right? But there's a reason. And once you hear it, you'll never forget it. Are you ready? Here it is. Understanding and speaking are not the same. Understanding is passive. You sit, you listen, you read. Your brain receives English, but it doesn't produce it. You don't move your mouth. You don't choose the words. You just let the English flow in, but speaking? That's something completely different. When you speak, you must do many things all at once. You think of the words. You organize your ideas. You say them clearly and quickly. And that's not easy. Even advanced learners struggle with this. So, here's a question for you. How often do you practice speaking out loud? Not reading, not listening, but actually speaking. Be honest. Is it every day? Once a week? Almost never? Here's the truth. You can't learn to speak without speaking. Let me say that again. You can't learn to speak without using your voice. It's just like swimming. You can watch 1,000 videos, but until you jump into the water, you won't learn. To swim. So, here's your challenge. Will you open your mouth and speak today? Even one sentence is progress. Even one mistake is a lesson. Even 5 minutes can change everything. Are you brave enough to try? Let's find out. In the next tip, I'll show you how to make speaking easier with one powerful idea that no one tells you in school. Don't miss it. Tip 2. Learn chunks, not words. Let me guess, you study new words every day. Maybe you write them in a notebook. Maybe you use flashcards or apps. And after weeks of study, you know hundreds of words, but when you try to speak, you still get stuck. Why? Let me ask you this. Have you ever learned the word busy? Of course. But have you ever said, I'm a bit busy right now, or, sorry, I've got a lot on my plate? Probably not. Here's the twist. The problem isn't the words. The problem is how you learn them. What if I told you that real fluency doesn't come from single words? It comes from chunks. What are chunks? Chunks are short phrases that people use every day without thinking. Not just a busy, but I'm a bit busy right now. Not just a tired, but I'm feeling kind of tired today. These are the pieces real English speakers use all the time. So, here's a question. Are you learning English the way real people speak? Or are you building sentences word by word like Lego bricks? Because let me tell you, that's hard. That's slow. And it's not how fluent speakers think. When you learn chunks, you don't have to build sentences from scratch. You already have the pieces ready to go. Like what? Try these, I'll get back to you. It depends on the situation. That sounds great. Do you see it now? These phrases are natural. They're smooth. They float. So, how do you find chunks? Here's your mission: listen. Really listen. Watch a show and write down the full phrases, not just the words. When someone says, "Let me think about it," pause. Repeat it. Say it out loud, then ask yourself, could I use this in real life? At work, at a cafe, with a friend? If the answer is yes, then memorize that chunk. Use it, repeat it, own it, because this is how real English is spoken. Not word by word, but chunk by chunk. So now I ask you, what chunk will you learn today? Think fast, because in the next tip, we're going to do something even more powerful. We're going to speak even if no one is around. Get ready. It might feel strange, but it could change everything. Tip 3. Speak to yourself. Let me ask you something, and be honest. How often do you actually speak English out loud? Not reading silently, not thinking in your head, but speaking with your voice. If your answer is not much, you're not alone, and I'm going to tell you one of the most powerful yet most ignored speaking tips ever. Ready? Here it is. You can talk to yourself. Yes, you. You don't need a native speaker. You don't need a teacher. You don't even need a friend. Just you, your mouth, and your voice. Wait, does that sound weird? Talking to yourself? Maybe. But what if I told you that some of the best English speakers in the world started like this? Because here's the twist, your brain doesn't care who you're speaking to. It just needs you to speak. No audience, no pressure, no fear. So, how does this work? Start simple. Describe what you're doing. I'm making coffee right now. It's a little cold today. I need to charge my phone. Talk about your day. Today, I feel tired. I have a lot of things to do. I want to relax after dinner. Or ask yourself a question: what do I want for lunch? Why am I feeling stressed? How can I practice more? You can even play both sides of a conversation. Hi, how can I help you? Yes, I'd like a coffee, please. Sure. Anything else? No thanks, that's all. Sounds simple? It is. But it's also powerful because every time you speak, you train your brain to think in English. You learn to connect thoughts faster. You learn to build sentences smoother. And most importantly, you stop being afraid of your own voice. Here's a question: when was the last time you spoke English when no one was watching? Think about it. Because your best practice might be when you're alone. No fear, no judgment, no limits. So here's your challenge. Today, speak to yourself. Just 5 minutes. That's all. And tomorrow, do it again. And the next day, you'll feel something new, confidence. And the next tip, we'll take this even further. We'll practice speaking with someone who never gets tired, someone who's always ready. And no, it's not a human. Curious? Let's keep going. Tip 4, use AI. Let me paint a picture. You want to practice speaking, but there's no one around. No teacher, no class, no native speaker to help. What do? Give up? Wait for the right moment? Wish you lived in another country? Not anymore. Because here's something that might surprise you: you already have a speaking partner available 24/7, and it never gets tired. Can you guess who it is? It's not a person, it's AI. Yes, artificial intelligence. And right now, you can speak English with smart tools like ChatGPT, Pi, or Copilot. Have you ever tried that? Because here's the twist: AI is not just for typing. You can speak to it just like a real person. Let me show you how. Open the app and say, "Hi, I'm learning English. Can we practice a conversation?" And guess what? It will talk to you. It will answer your questions. It will correct your sentences without judging you. Now let me ask you, have you ever felt nervous talking to someone in English? With AI, that fear disappears. No one is watching. No one is laughing. You can try, fail, repeat, and grow, and here's another bonus. You can tell the AI what you need. Say, please speak slowly, correct my grammar, or explain that word. It listens. It helps. It adapts. This is not just studying. This is using English in real time. And that's what builds fluency. So, here's your challenge today. Open an AI app. Start a short chat. Make it real. Pretend you're in a cafe or at an airport or talking to a new friend. Let the conversation flow. Even 10 minutes can make a huge difference. And tomorrow, do it again. Let AI become your daily practice buddy. Now imagine this, if you spoke to AI for 10 minutes every day, how would your English sound in 1 month? In 6 months? Are you willing to find out? In the next tip, you'll learn a method to go from slow to fast in just 6 minutes a day. It's a little strange, but it works like magic. Ready? Let's go. Tip 5, the 4-3-2 technique. Have you ever told a story and halfway through, you forget what to say? You stop. You hesitate. You feel stuck. What if I told you there's a simple way to fix that? Not with grammar, not with more vocabulary, but with repetition and speed in a special order. This method is called the 4-3-2 technique, and it might change how you speak forever. So, how does it work? Step 1, choose a short topic. Something from your life, a memory, a moment, a story you know well. Now, here comes the magic. First, speak about that topic for 4 minutes. Go slow. Take your time. Include details, emotions, actions. Then pause. Second, tell the same story. Again, but now only for 3 minutes. You need to be faster, more focused. No time to pause, no time to overthink. You already know the story. Now you're refining it. Last, speak one more time for just 2 minutes. This time, smooth and fluent. Say the same story with confidence and flow. Let me ask you, have you ever practiced one story 3 times in a row? Try it. You'll be surprised. Your brain starts to connect faster. Your mouth starts to move easier. Your sentences come out naturally. Here's a challenge for you. Pick a simple story. What you did today, something funny that happened, your first day at school. Now speak 4 minutes full version, 3 minutes tighter, 2 minutes clean and fluent, and here's a twist, record all 3 versions. Listen back. You'll hear the progress in your own voice. Not perfect? That's okay. What matters is this, you're training fluency. You're building rhythm. You're becoming a storyteller in English. So tell me, what story will you tell today? In the next tip, we'll take just one sentence and stretch it like a rubber band in every direction. That's where real fluency lives. Don't miss it. Tip 6, use one sentence in many different ways. What if I told you that one sentence can teach you more about English than an entire textbook? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. And once you try it, you'll see how powerful it is. Let's begin with something simple. I went to the store. Now stop. Can you say it another way? What about, I went to the store yesterday, or I went to the store to buy some bread? Easy. Let's go further. Try this. I had to go to the store again. I went to the store, but it was already closed. Guess what? I went to the store and saw my old teacher. Now, here comes the twist, change the grammar. I'm going to the store now. I've just been to the store. If I had gone to the store earlier, I wouldn't be hungry now. See what's happening? From one simple sentence, you've just practiced past, present, future, emotion, detail, grammar shifts. Real-life moments. Let me ask you, are you doing this kind of practice every day? Most learners don't. They move on too fast. One sentence, then the next. But real fluency, it grows when you go deep, not fast. So, here's what I want you to do. Take just one sentence today. Any sentence from your life. Now, bend it, stretch it, play with it. Start small. I like music. I really like music. I've always liked music since I was a kid. Sometimes I don't like loud music in the morning. If I didn't like music, my life would feel empty. Sounds like a full conversation, right? But it all came from one idea. That's the secret. It's not about knowing more. It's about doing more with what you already know. So now I ask you, what sentence will you choose today? And how many ways can you say it? Try 10, or even 20. This is where your brain learns flexibility. This is where fluency begins, and now, after all 6 tips, you're ready for something more. In the final part, I'll remind you of something important. Something that might change the way you speak forever. Let's go. Final words. Keep speaking, keep believing. You've made it all the way to the end. Now stop and ask yourself, how do you feel right now? Inspired? Nervous? Excited to speak? Whatever you feel, that's okay. Because what matters most is that you showed up. You listened. You repeated. You practiced. And that makes you different. From those who only watch, different from those who only wait, because you are doing it. Now, let me ask you this. Which tip spoke to you the most? Was it speaking to yourself in the kitchen or using AI as your practice partner? Maybe repeating the same story faster and faster, or playing with just one sentence until it bends. Whichever one it is, start there. Do it today. Even just for 5 minutes, even just one sentence. Because every time you speak, you train your voice. Every time you repeat, you teach your brain. And every time you try, you grow. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be brave. You don't need to know everything. You just need to use what you know. And here's something I want you to remember. Whenever you feel stuck, fluent with mistakes is better than silent with perfect grammar. So, go ahead, speak out loud, make a few mistakes, and smile while doing it. Now, it's your turn. What tip will you try today? Leave a comment or say it out loud right now. Practice speaking every day, even in small moments, and if this helped you, share it with a friend, someone who also wants to speak but is afraid to start. We're in this together. Thank you for listening. Thank you for speaking. And thank you for believing that your voice matters. Until next time, keep practicing, keep growing, and keep speaking, one sentence at a time. You've got this.